Is starting to form on lakes in Ohio, but the Coast Guard is warning people to stay off any ice-covered areas of Lake Erie, which is still too thin. I'm Dave James on the Ohio News Network.
Calls and conversations continue in less than 3 minutes as the Watchdog Morning Show with Howard Monroe continues after this.
I'm Josh from Panhandle Cleaning and Restoration. I hope you are staying healthy. We continue to respond to structural, fire, and water emergencies. We are combating COVID-19 with our highly trained staff and latest disinfection systems, providing preventative and reactive disinfection to facilities around the region, while working with area hospitals on isolation areas and air filtering. At Panhandle, we continue to follow social distancing and hygiene protocols. We are dedicated to our community, and together, we will get through this.
New Belgium Fat Tire Amber Ale is now available in West Virginia and distributed locally by wine and beverage merchants. With its toasty and biscuit-like malt flavors blended perfectly with hoppy freshness, it's bound to become one of your new favorite craft beers. Fat Tire Amber Ale is now available at local retailers. Please don't drink and drive, and drink responsibly. From your friends at Wine and Beverage Merchants.
For all of your IT needs, visit OmniPerforms.com. Omni Strategic Technologies, the only IT company that the Watchdog trusts.
Introducing our new redesigned 7 News app. Our new app features a sleek, modern design, an easy-to-navigate home screen with quick access to local news content, and a localized weather forecast. Subscribing to notifications is easier, and with one tap, you have access to recent push notifications. There are more ways to watch and find video. To get the new WTRF 7 News app, just update the latest version or download the WTRF 7 News app in your Apple or Google Play Store by searching WTRF.
Stand by. You're back to live and local programming in moments on the Watchdog.
Hello, everyone. From the Watchdog, I'm the Storm Tracker, Darnell Foster, with a look at your local weather forecast for your Thursday. Mostly cloudy, a few raindrops, and a couple of snowflakes. Daytime high near 43. Better chance of seeing those snowflakes mixing in with some rain through the evening and the overnight. With a low in the low 30s, you'll see mostly cloudy skies around for your Friday, with highs in the upper 30s. Have yourself a great day, everyone. From the Watchdog, I'm Darnell Foster.
The views and opinions expressed on the following program are not necessarily those of this station or its sponsors.
Ladies and gentlemen, may I have your attention, please?
Launch control, this is Houston. We are go for launch.
You're early.
Roger that.
It's Thursday.
Why even call it Thursday? Problem? We have pizza on Thursday.
Places, please. Quiet down.
Here is a complete disc jockey show with all the modern pace of today's exciting radio.
Good morning. Let's get started.
Seriously. Let's go.
It's showtime.
Conversations you care about with people you know. This is the Watchdog Morning Show with Howard Monroe on WKKX and WVLY.
Hello, 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 hello. Here we go again. Another day, another donut. Oh. I think I could use a donut. Got any donuts there?
There's nothing here.
Nothing in there? I got nothing here. I haven't had a donut for a long time. Donut would be good. We don't have any donut stores in the Upper Ohio Valley yet, do we? There's going to be a Dunkin' down in Moundsville.
I mean, other than...
Who does breakfast donuts? Anybody?
Does Tim Hortons?
Tim Hortons probably does, yeah. That's a good idea. That's a good one, yep. I don't know, Wheeling Coffee and Spice, maybe? Do they do donuts?
I don't think they do
I don't
donuts.
think they do they?
They've got... They got pastries like the cinnamon rolls and the cookies, and I think they might have biscotti too, but they don't have their pastry stuff is what they have.
That was just kind of a little throwaway line there. Another day, another donut. But then I said the word donut, and all of a sudden, a little part of my brain started going, "Did you say donut? I'd like a donut." I think I would like a donut this morning. Chocolate on top, maybe? Cream filled? Or a basic glazed would be good. It would be good. Best place to get donuts in the Ohio Valley, 304-214-1600, 1600. Then comes the question, since I'm broadcasting from home, is delivery.com working this morning? Are they up this early?
Only one way to
If
find
I just
out.
ask, right, we give it a try. And if I ask for a donut, they go, no, sir, we're not bringing it. I guess I can get a dozen. I wouldn't eat them all right away. Although by 10, I don't know. All right, 37 degrees, Wheeling, Ohio County Airport. It's 36 degrees here at my home studios in the Elm Grove section of Wheeling, 36 at the Robinson Auto Group Studios downtown Wheeling in the heart of the Ohio Valley. Again, fairly warm compared to where we were at the beginning of the week. 31 is the feels like temperature up and down our area right now. It's going to be a mostly cloudy day. There is a chance of some rain coming along as the day does go on. It is 7:12, 12 minutes after the hours we get up and running. Remind you, if you have something you want to say, whether it's where can I get a good donut in the morning? Text me, 304-214-1600, 304-214-1600. Or if you would like to, you can use the CityNet hotline, 304-232-8255. Yes, I will take your calls if you'd like to, 304-232-8255. I'm really concerned about the governor, Biffy. I mean that sincerely and honestly, and I'm not being at all facetious or political. I don't know if you heard Brian Abraham, the governor's chief of staff, talking on Hoppy's show yesterday. He said to Hoppy, speaking of the governor, he's not doing well. He's very ill. He continues to suffer. Still has elevated blood pressure. He's uncomfortable. That really makes me nervous. Doesn't sound good, Biff?
No, it doesn't. But again, I mean, he's taking treatments. He's doing everything right. So it's probably going to take time to work and everything. So let's just wait and see what happens, and hopefully by sometime today we get better news.
Yep. We talked about it yesterday. Let's be honest. He is obese. He is old. He's got, what do they call them, comorbidities. I mean, he's got, blood pressure issues and heart issues and so on. So it hits you hard, even though we say that Omicron, and nobody, I don't know, it's not been said if this is Omicron or Delta, or even if they know, but we know the Omicron doesn't, it's a milder form, especially if you've been vaccinated, and Governor Justice has been vaccinated, but still, it sounds to me like he's really uncomfortable. I said this yesterday when the governor put out his own press release night before last, and he said, what was the phrase he used? I am extremely unwell. To say that means it's really bothering him. And I thought his chief of staff's comments yesterday to Hoppy, he's not doing well, he's very ill, he continues to suffer, is not good. However, in the latest press release from the governor's office last night, the governor continues to be treated by several physicians, including Dr. Clay March and others. First Lady Kathy Justice still remains testing positive. Governor Justice's office staff all tested negative. I'm sorry, I said positive. Please, that was a terrible mistake of mine. First Lady Kathy Justice is still negative. She tested negative. Governor Justice's office staff also tested negative. So it is Justice and Justice alone that has the problem right now. And I chuckle at this, and I actually got flack on Twitter about this because I commented on it. In the press release from the governor's office, it's not as if I speculated about this, and Channel 7 did a short story about this. It's not as if Channel 7 created this out of thin air. In the press release from the governor's office, Biffy, they tell us baby dog's doing okay. Baby dog is showing no sign of illness and maintains her healthy appetite. So, I guess the good news in the midst of all of this is baby dog is doing well. Channel 7 did a story about that yesterday on their website. Can baby dog get COVID-19 from the governor? And they began with, there's no report that baby dog is sick or has COVID-19. but can he get COVID-19? The short answer, according to the FDA, is yes. The virus that causes COVID-19 can spread from people to animals, including pets. And a reporter for Charleston paper had tweeted last night, can't believe Channel 7 is looking for clickbait so badly, or maybe they hate the governor so much that they would run this story. And I said, look, Channel 7 doesn't need me to defend them. It probably doesn't want me to defend them, to be honest with you. But the update on Baby Dog came from the governor's office. Governor's office put in their own press. The governor is still suffering, being treated. The first lady is negative. The staff is negative. Baby Dog is doing well and has a healthy appetite. That's from the governor's office. So, and like it or not, people are interested in Baby Dog, Biff.
Yes, some are.
Well, I know Stephen Allen Adams isn't, but I had people ask me yesterday, what do you know about Baby Dog? Is Baby Dog okay? So the answer is Baby Dog is doing, what do they say? Baby Dog showing no signs of illness and maintains her healthy appetite. And that is the update on the governor. I thought you might want to know that, so I start things off by sharing with you here at 304-214-1600, 304-214-1600. Yes, somebody else texted me already. Howard, Baby Dog is healthy and still has a good appetite. Indeed, they do. Indeed, he does. Indeed, he does. On the donut front, yeah, Quality Bakery in Moundsville. They do good stuff. Quality Bakery in Moundsville has donuts. Again, I doubt if I can get delivery.com to bring me one from Moundsville, but just have a desire for donuts this morning. Other suggestions on donuts, text me, 304-214-1600, 304-214-1600. And I think, am I not right, Biff? Has not a Dunkin' Donuts been announced for Moundsville?
That I don't know.
I think I'm right about that. That there is going to be a Dunkin' Donuts going to Moundsville.
Wasn't there one up in
Rick Healy,
Weirton?
is that right? Rick, somebody in Moundsville? Sarah Woods, somebody help me. Hasn't a Dunkin' been announced?
Don't they have one up in Weirton?
They do have one up in Weirton, yep. I guess you're right. Tim Hortons may be the only place I can think of that might have donuts. Now that you've got me thinking about it, I have not been inside Tim Hortons, since the pandemic began. Are you allowed to go inside Tim's? I've gone through. I drive through and get mocha frequently. Can you? I guess you can go inside Tim's, right? Anyways, I haven't been in there for a good while, but they do have donuts in there too. So maybe at least when I go off the air. I don't know. We'll see. Anyway, donut ideas, you can text me if you would like to. All right, where are we going and what are we doing today here on the Watchdog Morning Show? Well, we will talk about the governor. His treatment continues for COVID. His major economic development projects were officially announced yesterday. Governor wasn't there to do it, but they came out in a written form and an announcement form. State House reporter Brad McElhenney by next hour, and we'll talk about that. 3 actually big economic development announcements made yesterday. We will talk about them, and also maybe Brad has some more info on the governor's health. We'll talk about that. We're going to go inside politics later on today with a political insider. She is an Emmy Award-winning reporter, a former congresswoman. She is Hillary Clinton's sister-in-law. Marjorie Margolis is coming by. She is an advocate for children. She has a new book out called And How Are the Children? And we'll talk about her work with children. I got a couple of Hillary questions I want to ask her, and some other political inside stuff. Marjorie Margolis coming up a little bit later on this morning. I have some updates to a couple of local stories that I want to get to you. Also, bring you up to speed on some folks who are filing to run for office this coming year. And Senator Manchin continues opposed to eliminating the filibuster, but he did outline to NPR the things that he might consider. We'll talk about that later on. And then at the very tail end of the show, Biff and I are going to step away for a while to offer you a paid political advertisement on the voting rights bill being considered on Capitol Hill. So that's what I have to offer you. What do you have to offer me? Text line open, 304-214-1600, 304-214-1600. You are welcome to use the CityNet hotline, 304-232-8255. 304-232-TALK is our Sitting Net hotline. You're welcome to give me a call, and we can talk about things. 7:21 here on the Watchdog Morning Show. 37 degrees at the airport.
Always on Talk Line on Metro News, we talk.
Okay. Okay. All right. Good. And looks like I've got a couple of texts here, too. At least one text here. Okay. All right. All right. You can share that with us when we come back.
The Ohio Education Association.
The new year is here, and so are the new Toyotas. So visit your dealer and reserve yours today. Like the all-new Tundra, redesigned from the ground up and engineered for uncompromising power. Or explore the brand new Corolla Cross with available all-wheel drive and more cargo room than ever. Visit your Toyota dealer today or go online to buyatoyota.com, the official website for deals. Hurry, offers end January 31st. Toyota, let's go places.
You're never too far from the most local programming in the Ohio Valley. Find us here. AM 1600 and 1370. FM 98.1 and 97.7. We are the Watchdog. The Watchdog.
Watch out! He could climb on his soapbox at any time. The Watchdog Morning Show with Howard Monroe continues.
7:25 here on the Watchdog Morning Show. The election filing season is underway in West Virginia. Officially began Monday, and we have some local folks who begun their filing. Perhaps most interesting, yesterday, Wheeling City Councilman Dave Palmer from the 6th Ward, the Elm Grove Ward, has filed to run for the Republican nomination for County Commissioner, the seat that is currently being held by Randy Wharton. Palmer, of course, has been a fireman, a policeman, a fireman, a fire inspector, worked for the United Way, now is driving school bus in his retirement, and, of course, is councilman for Wheeling's 6th Ward. Dave had never given me any indication of this, but I got to tell you, this does not surprise me. I kind of thought he might take a run for this. So Palmer yesterday officially filed to run for the county commission seat. Again, it's the Republican nomination for the seat currently being held by Randy Wharton. So we'll be talking, I'm sure, with Dave as time goes by. I invited him on this morning, but he said, I'm driving school bus. So we'll have him on maybe Monday or so to talk about that. But that, to me, that's the interesting one. Also opens up a seat. You know, Dave didn't even have any competition. He ran unopposed for council in the last election. It was his second run, and nobody even ran against him here in the Elm Grove section. So it'll open up a council seat. It's my ward. Councilman Monroe? Nah. I don't think I want to give that a try. Let's see, who else has filed for office in the last couple of days? For the 1st Senatorial District, the one that we are in West Virginia, not a surprise because she'd announced it earlier, Republican Laura Wakeham Chapman has filed in the Secretary of State's office for the 1st Senatorial District. She is the daughter of Chris Wakeham, who had run for Congress before, who had been in the House of Delegates and so on. So she's run for the Republican. And I think Paul Harris had her on this week when Paul was filling in the afternoon. So she was on the radio station recently. Randy Schwartzmiller, who ran last time, running again on the Democrat side of things. So right now, one Dem, one Republican running for the 1st Senatorial District, Laura Chapman and Randy Schwartzmiller. Let's see, what else did we have? On the very first day of filing, Congressman Mooney, we know, is running for re-election. He officially filed, and the man who will fight against him for the Republican nomination, Dave McKinley, to the best of my knowledge, has not yet filed for re-election, but has, of course, said he is going to run in 2022 against Alex Mooney. Marshall County Republican Charlie Reynolds has filed to run for re-election as a member of the House of Delegates. I mentioned Dave Palmer is filed to run in the Ohio County Commission seat on the Republican side of things. He will run against Randy Wharton, who also has already filed to run for County Commission, to run again for County Commission re-election there. Mike Kelly, nice guy, runs for re-election to the clerk in Ohio County. He's filed. Brenda Miller, longtime circuit clerk, has filed for re-election as well. I forgot we had a school board election coming up. Ohio County School Board, Andy Garber, who retired as principal at Warwood School, filed to run for a seat on the Ohio County School Board. So those are some of the folks who have already filed to run for election in the primary and or general election. Primary is in May. General election, of course, is in November.
For the school board, do we know what ward that is?
I do not. I actually didn't realize there was a school board seat coming up until I saw Andy Garber's name on there. I'm going to have to actually, so I don't know whose seat that is. I don't know what magisterial district that is.
Yeah, because
I'm going to have to do a little more research on that. Honestly, I never considered the school board at all until I saw that filing last night. So I don't know. Biff, I honestly do not know.
Because we got to go through the thing where, remember, you can't have two within one. I forget how it is. I think I still have it printed out somewhere, but
let's see. There are 3 magisterial districts. There has to be someone from each of the 3. And there can be no more than 2 from any one. I think I've got it right.
I think that's it. Again, I've got somewhere. I'll have to dig it out, but I somewhere I've got it printed out about how the voting goes for the school board.
And we all know, we talk about it when the elections come up, the school board elections. That means sometimes you could have somebody who comes in 4th, like 1, 2, 3 comes in 4th. Ends up winning because the first 3 aren't in the right district. I mean, it's just every year it comes up, we talk about it. But it's crazy. I don't know why I know why they did it once upon a time, but isn't it time to change that? We'll get into that when the time comes. But to answer your question directly, Biff, I don't know whose seat is up for grabs. I don't know whose seat is available. So I don't know, therefore, what districts are going to be being talked about. But I'll find out. And some of you may know, and if you do, just text me and let me know. McCabe probably knows. John, whose seat is up? You follow this stuff pretty closely, John. John McCabe had to say something on Twitter the other day. He had to agree with me, Biff. Boy, he began with, I hate to agree with Howard. But, and he went on to talk about, I forget what it was I had tweeted, but he said he agreed with me. Biff, we got a couple more calls on donuts, right?
Yes, we did. You asked about the Dunkin' Donuts in Moundsville, and actually it is being built right now. It is on Route 2 where the Walmart is, and the location will be on the southwest corner of the property, which is in front of the Walmart. So that area
so
there.
It'll be sort of in that Walmart plaza, if you will.
Yes, on the southwest corner. And actually, there are locations. We did say the one in Weirton has a Dunkin' Donuts. Steubenville, Wintersville, Belmont, and Washington, Pennsylvania all have Dunkin' Donuts. And someone also mentioned that the best place for donuts is actually probably about 2 minutes from where you live, which is Respects.
And that's where we occasionally do get donuts. If my wife is in a good mood, for me, not always the case, but if she's in a good mood, sometimes when she goes to Respects for shopping, she'll bring home some donuts. And today'd be a good day. I'm in a donut-y kind of mood. Donuts would be good. On the election front, off the text line, if people got to get things started on a critical way, Mr. Monroe. Uh-oh, Biff, Mr. Monroe.
That's not good.
Yeah, that's always bad. Mr. Monroe, you failed to report that Palmer switched parties from a Democrat to a Republican. He has the same chance of victory as a Hillary Clinton run in 2024. He has no shot of winning. None. I beg to differ. I think Dave is pretty well liked. He's a straight shooter. Can he beat Randy Wharton? I mean, that certainly, I think, that's a big mountain for him to climb. I want to be clear with that. But I think Dave is fairly well liked. To the extent that he's not liked, it's because he's a straight shooter, Biff. He just calls it the way he sees it.
Yes, he does.
You don't get a lot of, dancing around there. That'll be, assuming that Randy Wharton gets the Democratic nomination, nobody else files, and Randy gets that, or Randy wins a primary, either way. And assuming Dave Palmer gets the Republican nomination, nobody else files, or Dave were to win the nomination. That'll be an interesting race, Randy versus Dave Palmer, I think. First of all, two Elm Grove boys. Both very well liked, I think, both with a good background. That's going to be a heck of a race. Should be very interesting. We'll have to get Randy on here the next day or two to talk about his reelection bid. And again, I talked briefly to Dave yesterday, and we'll try and work a time out to get him on here as well. I think he's got a good shot. And by the way, in this text, it says Palmer has the same chance of victory as a Hillary Clinton run in 2024. There actually was a suggestion raised yesterday or this week in the Wall Street Journal that Hillary should consider running for president again. Now, first of all, let me say, personal opinion, for God's sake, don't do that, Hillary. Just no. I voted for her, but no, at some point, let's turn the corner and move on. However, we're going to talk to Hillary Clinton's sister-in-law later on this morning, and I'm going to see if we can get any inside info, Biff. I'm going to see if Marjorie Margolis maybe knows anything that the rest of us don't yet know about Hillary's thought process on this. So I will ask her about that coming up a little bit later on. Marjorie Margolis will be joining us after she does the Today Show today. So that's coming up in our 9 o'clock hour. Okay, 7:35, 25 till the hour. It's the Watchdog Morning Show. Let's check some Ohio Valley headlines. And then Aaron is in here with our morning forecast. We will talk about that. And I want to talk about, this idea of paying it forward, Biff. You see it in drive-in lines, I like to buy my coffee, and I'll buy the one for the guy behind me. And then sometimes it gets started and it gets this very long line. And how long can it go before you keep on paying for the guy behind you? There's a little story that made the internet yesterday that I think is interesting, because finally one guy said, no, I'm done. I'm not paying for the guy behind me. And he's getting some flack, and I think maybe he's right. So we'll talk about that coming up, too. That's what I've got for you. What do you got for me? Phone lines open, 304-232-8255. I'm going to scrounge around in the kitchen and see if I can find a donut or something while we check the headlines from the Big Seven.
Now it's time for your local news headlines from 7.
Metro News Sports. Good morning. I'm Kyle Wiggs. Mountaineer women's basketball team earned their first.
Biff, I don't have my sports calendar in front of me. Do we have anything tonight? Okay. No basketball, local basketball. Okay. I'll have to find my schedule and get it printed out. I haven't done that yet. Okay, thank you. Okay, yeah, I'll actually talk about it a little bit later on. No, we can do tonight and tomorrow. That's fine.
Lots of decisions.
Cloth or disposable? Crib or bassinet?
So when it comes to protection, go with the safest, most effective choice, vaccination. Get all the recommended vaccines for your baby by age 2 to protect your child against 14 serious childhood diseases. For more reasons to vaccinate, talk to your child's doctor. Go to cdc.gov/vaccines or call 800-CDC-INFO. A message from the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention.
The new year is here, and so are the new Toyotas. So visit your dealer and reserve yours today. Like the all-new Tundra, redesigned from the ground up and engineered for uncompromising power. Or explore the brand new Corolla Cross with available all-wheel drive and more cargo room than ever. Visit your Toyota dealer today or go online to buyatoyota.com, the official website for deals. Hurry, offers end January 31st. Toyota, let's go places.
Keep up with the ever-changing world of sports all night long. Sports Map Radio is on the Watchdog, FM 98.1, AM 1600.
Great conversation continues now on the Watchdog Morning Show with Howard Monroe.
Well, coming up a bit later on this morning, we are going to talk to Brad McClenney about those 3 major economic development announcements that were made yesterday. Governor couldn't make them. He's got COVID, but they were at least officially announced. And one of them could have an impact here in the Upper Ohio Valley because that Nucor Steel project may have an offshoot in the Wheaton area. So we'll talk to Brad about all of those. And then what else is likely to be going forward as the legislative session gets underway. Later on, we have a special program for you, taking a look at the voting rights bill that's pending in Congress. We'll look at that from a couple of different angles. And former Congresswoman, and I hate to always use, the family connection kind of thing, but it's Hillary Clinton's sister-in-law, Marjorie Margolis, is going to join us, Marjorie Margolis, to talk about a couple of things. She's got a new book out and some things. And I want to ask her about Hillary a little bit. Hillary did the forward to her new book, so we'll get into that. That's all coming up for this morning. And let's see, tonight, Biffy, what have we got for people this evening on our sports lineup? Penguins tonight?
Yeah, Penguins, it'll be a late night for them. They are still out on the West Coast, but we have the Bob Huggins show at 7 o'clock tonight from Kegler's down in Morgantown. And then I actually almost said Charleston there for a minute. I don't know why, but yeah, Kegler's down in Morgantown. And then the Pittsburgh Penguins tonight at the Los Angeles Kings at 10:30. Penguins still on the West Coast trip. They played Anaheim, I believe, either on Monday or Tuesday night. So they're still out there on the West Coast, and they will take on the Kings tonight again at 10:30.
And when's our next high school basketball game?
We have 2 games tomorrow night, one on each station, and this is one I'm actually looking forward to. Wheeling Central on the road going to Clarksburg to take on Notre Dame. And then John Marshall, they will be at Brook tomorrow.
Okay. It's actually a couple of good games that could be there, so that sounds good. We will have them for you here on the Watchdog. If you can't listen online at AM 1600, AM 1370, FM 98.1, or FM 97.7, don't forget, go to watchdognetwork.com, our website, and the streaming audio links are right there. You also can take us with you in your car or wherever if you use TuneIn Radio on your smartphone or your tablet. Well, it's, again, a relatively warm morning compared to where it had been before. Aaron Myler is here to tell us about today, and will the warmer weather stay? Good morning, Aaron.
Good morning. How are you?
Well, it's, I'm getting used to this nice warm weather. That's,
I'm going to say you're welcome for today and then just not call in tomorrow. How about that?
So I now get the picture. And right now, not bad at all. 37 at the airport, 36 here at my home studios. A little bit of a feels like temperature, dropping it down maybe a little bit closer to down to around freezing, but nowhere near like we had earlier this week. And we are going to warm up a little bit today, right?
Yeah, so today we're going to warm up a little bit more, only getting into the low to mid 40s just because of the clouds didn't really allow us to warm up too much, but also that's what's kept us warmer overnight. So the good and the bad of that. And then after that, temperatures are dropping off really low soon. 33 for tomorrow. 24 is the high on Saturday. So Saturday's going to get back to the day where, like, beginning of this week where it was just like bitter cold in the morning and it never really warmed up too much. That's what Saturday is going to look like. But, I mean, that's the coldest day of the week, luckily. So it's not all going to be that cold all week long. But, yeah, there's a chance for a little bit of there's only so many, we've talked about this before, there's only so many words I can put on the 7-day, like on the little blocks there. So today, it's looking like there's going to be a chance for a couple light showers later on today, probably like in the early afternoon or like in the evening. And then later overnight, a couple of those could freeze into a couple flurries or just some light showers still. So I'm not expecting much in the way of any precipitation today, but you could just see a little something. You probably will see a little bit of rain later on. Not like it's like a rain jacket kind of rain, not an umbrella. Like I wouldn't even, like it's not that serious. The next thing,
I like that distinction: a rain jacket rain, not an umbrella rain. I like that. That's a good way of putting it.
Yeah, I feel like it's like a rain jacket you just put on. Like, oh, a couple raindrops, nothing to worry about. But like, I mean, when it's if it's really raining, that's when I'm bringing the umbrella because I'm just not trying to deal with that.
Now, Aaron, I saw on, I don't know, CNN or one of the national channels, there is going to be a winter storm that's going to sweep through the south. Is that right? But it's going to miss us? I always have a hard time following the track of these storms when I'm trying to read about them on the national scene. There is going to be a winter storm coming down south. Is that right?
Yeah, so there's this, it's out like just in the Oklahoma area right now, but it's going to kind of go towards the south and track that way, then it's going to go right up along the coast. And right now, with everything, it's looking like we're going to get some snow Sunday night into Monday from that. But again, like the last time, it's looking like the heaviest of the snow is off to our east. So, I mean, it's one of those things where it's not by any means whatsoever set in stone yet. So like we don't have any snow totals yet because we're too far out from that point still to make like an actual judgment call about where this is going to move to. But yeah, we'll definitely probably see some snow Sunday and Monday, but just how much in the timing and the heaviness of the snow is time will tell.
And as I looked at, and I'm not a good map reader, so I could be wrong. As I looked at the track of that, it will go to the east, and probably eastern mountains of West Virginia might hit some heavy snow. Not us, but eastern mountains.
Yeah, the mountains usually end up getting more of it just because, I mean, they're in the mountains. It's colder up there. But yeah, so we're looking like we're gonna see some models. Like I said, it's all back and forth right now. Nothing's by any means of the imagination in concrete at all. But some things are looking like you might see, like they're putting us in some of the heavier snow. A lot of things are putting us right on the edge where we are of possibly getting heavier, possibly getting a lot lighter of snow. So it really is going to be we're going to Zach and I will keep watching this forecast over the next few days to really fine tune that to see where we think it's going to go. Because, I mean, it's like the last one. People like down in just Morgantown in the grand scheme of things is not that far. And they got a lot more snow than we did a week or so ago whenever we got that snow. So it's really just going to be like a game time. Like we'll get it as we get closer, just get better info on it.
And we're going to likely get some snow, but again, at the moment, it looks unlikely it'll be a big deal. The bigger deal will be to the east. Those eastern mountains can be a bear in the snow, I'll tell you. I remember driving, I think I was going to Obama's inauguration. Anyways, I remember driving over to D.C., over the eastern mountains in West Virginia, and I'm looking around, and it's snowing, and I don't see another car anywhere coming either way. And then I turn the radio on, and it says, Interstate 70 has now been closed. And I realized I must have gotten on the closed part just before they closed it, right? So it's like, all right, well, I guess at this point we just keep on going and hope we make it. It can be a bear on those eastern mountains when it gets particularly snowy. So shouldn't be a problem for us. But if you happen to be going out that way, maybe watch the forecast a little bit closer. But
yeah,
today,
it's one of those things where it could change. We could get more, but we're like everything's so back and forth, and we're so on the edge that it's like we'll get it when we get closer, when we get more info.
Today, not too bad. 43 for the high, a little bit of rain showers, and but I'm looking at the lows again. We tend to skip the lows. The overnight lows, not so much tonight, but I guess the next two nights are going to be down to the teens, which means we'll probably feel some close to zero feels like temperatures for overnight lows, I guess.
Yeah, so that's going to be like Friday night and Saturday night, which essentially means Saturday and Sunday morning. When you're going out, you'll notice them the most. But yeah, that's getting back to where we were at the beginning of this week, where it feels like temps were like you said, right around 0 degrees. So we'll have that pop into our forecast here soon. So we're getting those bitter cold temperatures back here shortly, but it is what it is.
We've been talking. You may have noticed this, having been with us for a while now, Aaron. We talk a lot about food on this show, and we've been talking about donuts today. Are you a donut kind of guy?
I love a donut. So good.
Where do you get donuts around here?
Wait, it's God, I just forgot the name in the moment. Tina's Sweet Celebrations over in Martins Ferry.
Oh,
they
okay.
have good donuts.
Right.
I go there, or like on the way home, like when I go to Pittsburgh ever. Half the time I'll stop at Krispy Kreme on the way because, like, why not?
Yeah, Krispy Kreme. I love that. There's a Dunkin' Donuts going into Moundsville. I don't think it's done yet. There's Quality Bakery in Moundsville is a good place. I like that. For some reason this morning, suddenly donuts popped into my head. You know how that happens sometimes? Just boom, there it is. Oh, I like a donut. And I've been trying to figure out where can I get a donut.
Yeah, Tina's Sweet Celebration has a lot of unique ones too. They don't just have like I feel like Krispy Kreme you go for like just the plain glaze. Everything else is just like a waste of time. Right. But yeah, they have a lot of fun ones there. If I recall correctly, I think they had some that had Oreos and stuff on them. They had just like the regular ones. They had like a good assortment of donuts, which I like. I like the options.
And then I was wondering, and I guess the answer is no, like delivery.com or DoorDash. If I were to order one donut here at 7:53 in the morning, I'm guessing nobody will bring it to me, right?
I mean, I feel like somebody might bring enough, but you're going to have to pay that delivery fee still.
Yeah,
it's probably still going to cost you $20 for one donut.
To get a donut. Hey, sometimes that donut sounds so good that I might be willing to pay that. So. Most of the people suggesting just the grocery type stores. Kroger, Respects, Walmart all have good donuts. This is from a text I just got here. Dunkin' Donuts in Moundsville, not done yet, but it'll be there soon. I don't know. Just got the donut urge this morning. So,
well, like I said, Tina Sweet Celebrations in Martins Ferry. I highly recommend it.
I'm going to check into that, and I appreciate that. All right. Well, you have yourself a good day. Find a good donut or something, and we'll talk to you tomorrow.
Talk to you then. Have a good one.
Thanks a lot. 7:54, 6 before the hour on the Watchdog Morning Show. Aaron Myler from the Big 7, WTRF TV here on the Watchdog Morning Show. Lines are open, 304-214-1600, 304-214-1600. Use them if you would like to. The CityNet hotline, 304-232-8255. Wild Card Weekend just got wilder. Our friends at FanDuel Sportsbook hooking new customers up with 30-1 enhanced odds. That means you can bet $5 and win $150 on any team in any wild card game. Just pick which team you'd like to win, place your bets. Sign up for FanDuel Sportsbook and make a deposit to claim your 30-1 enhanced odds. No better place to bet the NFL playoffs than America's #1 sportsbook. Simple, easy to use, very intuitive, generous promotions every day, safe, secure, super customer service for you. And when you win, FanDuel pays your winnings in as little as 2 hours. Now, if you already have FanDuel, then they're hooking customers up, current customers, with an additional $50 if you refer a friend. On your FanDuel app, you have an individualized link that you can send to a friend. It's directly connected to you. If they, using your link, then download FanDuel and become a FanDuel user, put $10 into their account, for example, then they'll get $50 and you'll get $50 in your account. So that's a pretty good deal as well. Just download the FanDuel Sportsbook app using my name, Monroe, in the promo code box, MONROE. Put that in the promo code box. Pick your wild card team before kickoff. As always, you must be 21 or older, physically present in West Virginia. New users only. $10 first deposit required. You must wager in designated offer market. Maximum bonus $150. Restrictions do apply. Full terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. If you have a gambling problem, visit 1-800-GAMBLER.net or call 1-800-GAMBLER. FanDuel Sportsbook, as always, more ways to win. Do I need another break, Biffy?
We are good for the hour.
All right. 304-232-8255 is our number if you would like to use it. That's a good point. I never thought. See, I don't hit the food trucks very often anymore because I don't go out that much anymore. Howard, some of the best donuts, this is off the text line, 304-214-1600. Howard, some of the best donuts locally are on food trucks, like the Holy Rollers. I've heard of that place. I've heard of that donut truck. I have never tried it. Have you, Biff, the Holy Rollers donut truck?
I have not.
I have not either. I've heard about it. I have some friends who've tried it, tell me they're very good. Also, I guess there's a truck called So Nuts for Donuts. I like that. So Nuts for Donuts. Another food truck. We have a lot of food trucks around the Upper Ohio Valley anymore, don't we?
Yes, we do.
Started out with just one or two. Started out with what? I guess the cheese melt maybe was one of the first ones, right? And Ideal Provisions, I guess. The Big Pig Rig was a number of years ago, got started. And then just there've been lots of folks adding them. It's a sign of a nice growing community, I think, when you have food trucks. I do know that there's some, complaints sometimes by standalone restaurants who feel that, they've invested in a brick and mortar location. They've got to have somebody there all the time. Food trucks can sort of come and go as they want to. But I think it adds to the vitality of a community to have a lot of food trucks. So some of the best donuts locally, according to this texter, Holy Rollers or So Nuts for Donuts food trucks. We're looking for good donut places this morning. There aren't a whole lot. Well, I shouldn't say that. We are getting a lot of good ideas. Just text them to me if you'd like to, 304-214-1600. Well, the governor was not able to announce anything yesterday because he's suffering from COVID in West Virginia, but the announcements were made. The Nucor Steel announcement, the big one, and then at least two other smaller ones, still fairly significant economic development announcements made in West Virginia yesterday. We'll talk about those with Brad McElhenney coming up for the next hour of the show. I also have a couple of other local stories that have been sitting on my desk, not any in-depth or in detail, but a couple of quickie items I want to get across, so we'll put them on the table for you. I'll get to that coming up in the next hour as well. It is just about 8 o'clock here on the Watchdog Morning Show. ABC covers the world next. We're looking at a possibly rain showery day, probably a mostly cloudy day. Daytime high around 43. Currently 37 at the Wheeling, Ohio County Airport. 36 here at my home studios in the Elm Grove section of Wheeling. 36 at the Robinson Auto Group Studios downtown Wheeling in the heart of the Ohio Valley.
The Watchdog is FM 98.1, AM 1600 WKKX Wheeling, FM 97.7, AM 1370 WVLY Moundsville.
All right, Biffy, I'm going to get some more coffee. I shall return. We'll do Capitol Report, and then it should be Brad after that.
Workers, here's a...
Okay, sounds good. Okay, good.
Where needed. Starting next week.